The Sound Lab, 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 the Sound Lab. Experimenting with the best new music.
Ram from Petrol Girls.
Hiya, you alright?
I'm alright. How are you?
I'm good. I'm a bit pissed. I'll just put it out there. I'm fine.
I mean, last time I interviewed you at 2000 Trees, I think you'd had a drink.
Oh my god, no! Like honestly though, it's really funny because I actually don't drink that much on tour at all.
I don't believe you.
No, it really messes with my voice. So I'm actually really boring on tour. But like 2000 Trees is like round where like me and the guitarist Joe grew up. So like we see like loads of mates and like I've had a cider. I don't drink cider anymore, and I've had a cider and it's just sent me sideways. I don't know. It's good.
It's
I'm
just
happy.
festivals in general, isn't it?
Oh, but isn't it nice though? We all need a break sometimes.
So you're looking forward to being back at 2000 Trees?
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
I love being back here. Like, it's great. And like, our set was wicked. Like, I had so much fun and like spoke to so many like lovely people afterwards that were like just really sincere and really encouraging. And that, that really means the world. Like, it's sometimes we deal with quite heavy stuff in our music and on stage. And it's just like really nice to have a bit of encouragement sometimes because it gets a bit bleak otherwise.
Yeah, definitely. And once this weekend is over and done with, what's the plan next for you?
I mean, we've got another festival in the Netherlands, and then we're going back. We all live in Austria, so we're going back to Austria, and then we've got tour in the UK in September. Those tour dates are announced and all up. Tickets are online, and then we've got it's not quite announced yet. When is this going out?
When's your announcement?
If it can go out after the announcement.
It can go out after the
announcement.
announcement.
All right, we're going to go on tour with Refused and Thrice in November.
Nice.
Which is going to be wicked. I can't wait. We're doing all the Europe dates, all the mainland dates, which is great. I love it. I love touring Germany. Germany's like my favourite place to go on tour because you just get fed really well, and that really, really matters to me.
I've heard that story before, so.
Oh my god, is this just exactly what I said last time?
It might have been you, I don't
Probably.
know.
I talk about food quite a lot. I like went off on one about potatoes on stage the other day, just because I've been in the UK and had a baked potato for the first time in months, and I was like, oh, this is heavenly. But yeah, we've got that coming up, and I think next year we're going to try and hit the States. We've never been. Like literally,
I think it's time.
Me, Joe, and Leopold have never even been to America. Like, I don't think we've been outside of Europe. Like, it's gonna be hilarious. So I want to make a documentary of you lot just like experiencing America. Like, it's gonna be embarrassing and hilarious. But yeah, so we'll give that a try. And like, we're starting to write again. Like, we've got another record in us for sure. So all sorts.
Good. I haven't asked this question to anyone before. You live in Austria?
Yeah. Because our drummer's Austrian, right? Zoc is Austrian. Our bass player's Lithuanian. It's only me and Joe that are from the UK.
Yeah.
And we met and formed in London. But like London's shit. Like you can't be in a touring band and live in London. Like unless someone's literally bankrolling you. Like how the fuck are you going to pay your rent? And squatting in London's a nightmare. So like how are you meant to exist there and be in a touring band? Like it's not going to happen. So like we moved all over the place. And Zoc and Liv moved to Austria. Me and Joe sort of slowly followed. I went to Glasgow, to Scotland for a bit, which was wicked. I love Glasgow. It's a bit rainy, bit dark, a bit cold, but beautiful. The mountains are lovely. Anyway, we all ended up in Austria, and it's great. Like, most of us live in Graz, which is like a tiny town about 2 hours away from Vienna. Like, the quality of life is just so much better. Like, my rent is like so cheap. Like, I make my rent in like 4 or 5 bar shifts with tips.
Nice.
Like, and I work in a bar that's like 90 seconds from the door of my flat. It's a whiskey bar, and I get to drink whatever I want on shift. It's banging. So, like, I don't want to move back to the UK where I'd like, in London, you've got to work like a 50-hour week to pay your rent to live in a damp, mouldy shithole. I'm not doing it anymore. Like, fuck it.
You got a point. You got a good point.
Fuck it.
Cool. So back onto to the music front. When do you think you might start working on the new music?
We've actually, I'm not going to say when, but we've set a date for when we want to hit the studio.
Okay.
And like I have actually been really inspired this tour. Like we've been out with War on Women, who are an amazing feminist band from the States. We've been with Milk Teeth and La Dispute, who are both like incredible bands, and it's just really, really inspired me. And I've been churning out lyrics. I know Joe's been writing bits and bobs. Like I think it'll. We'll start having a few little jams, a little tinkle, and see what happens.
Good. And when ideally would you like new music out?
I can't say.
Next year, are we looking at, do you think?
I don't think that's realistic. Like, I think like I would rather make sure that we've written something that's like really, you know, I'm not gonna like, I don't want to follow this like capitalist shit about like, but we need to like get a record out next year in order to keep up the hype or whatever. Fuck that. Like, we'll write music as and when we feel like writing music, and then we'll get it together and then we'll release it. We'll record it and then we'll release it. Like, you know, we've got an idea in mind about when we'd like to do that by, but like, I don't want to force this, and I don't want to do it for the sake of like keeping up whatever. Like, fuck that capitalist shit. No, I refuse. Like, we're gonna, we'll crack it together soon.
Good. And being a woman in the rock world, there's not very many women.
More
it's
increasing.
It is indeed. So, do you feel like you're leading the way for them, or
no?
Do you feel a responsibility? Or
I do feel a sense of responsibility, but like, you know, I'm not like the first. Like, it's not like I'm the first woman in a punk band, and like, you know, like, I think that like women just get overlooked. Like, the Slits were like, I'm sorry, by far the best of that first wave of punk bands, by far the most musically interesting and like relevant bands. Like, they were incredible. Like, Cut is an absolute masterpiece, like, in my opinion. So like, and they're just so hugely overlooked as a band. And then you've got the whole Riot Girl movement. I am so happy that documentary about Kathleen Hanna came out. Like, I literally watched that documentary like about 5 years ago when I was living out in Hamburg. Promptly dumped my boyfriend at the time and booked a tour because I was like, oh my god, like, this is amazing. Like, I think that recording the like history of like women in music is so important for like women to see that people have done it before and they've fought the same things, and in a way it's depressing that they're fighting the same things, but also it is changing. And like, I think there's some incredible initiatives out there to get more women and non-binary and trans people like in music. Like, I think things like First Timers down in London is doing like incredible stuff. There's like the girls rock camps and things like that, because you know what, we have to be deliberate about this, and we have to make an effort to change like festival lineups so it's not just like an absolute dude bro fest, because like, for one, it's just fucking boring. Like, who wants to hear about men whining about their ex-girlfriends like all weekend? Like, and as if that's like the worst thing that's happened to them. Like, it just blows my mind. Like, there's some fucking real shit going on in the world, and yet like all they've got to sing about is like, oh, I got dumped. Like, and you know, I just think there's some shocking stuff going on in music at the moment, in the world in general, and like, people can use their voice and their platform to actually affect some real fucking change and not just whine about their bullshit. I think get more women, get more people of colour, get more like trans, non-binary, queer people on festival lineups. We got shit we need to say, and that shit that's worth hearing.
Yeah, excellent. Thanks.
Cheers.
It's been great having a chat with you once again.
Cheers. Thank you very much. Thank you.
The Sound Lab, 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 the Sound Lab. Experimenting with the best new music.